I know a lot of you guys are getting pretty upset about the frequency of me uploading Creation Club content, so I'm going to make a pact with you. This will be the last video in the next 4 videos I upload for Creation Club, unless there's some like major news coming out for it, but otherwise this will be it for the next 4 days. We'll just go back to regular Fallout 4 and Fallout 4 modding. But regardless, what we have here are some really good responses to Creation Club. Another kind of update was posted by Bethesda, this time by Griffey. I may be pronouncing that wrong, I'm not entirely sure. Regardless, these are answering some of those hard-hitting questions. It honestly addresses pretty much all of the major concerns that have been brought up over the past few weeks, so without further ado, let's just jump into it. So the first kind of heading here is, I'm terrified you're getting rid of free mods, are you? They say no, and largely I think the big takeaway here is they do mention that free and open modding is one of the backbones of our games. I think Bethesda here is genuinely acknowledging that they recognize how important modding is, and I don't think they'll ever touch it. Then we do have, why do you insist these aren't paid mods? They look like paid mods to me. Here they basically say that it's not as simple as just a mod author coming up, creating a mod and selling it. There's quality assurance going on, there's some internal verification, making sure things work with one another. My response to that is basically yes, I agree. I think that is totally true, but it doesn't really matter. This idea that a ton of mods are released broken or with incompatibilities is simply not that true anymore. I played Fallout 4 with a load order of 240 mods for a couple of weeks. I had no issues. It's not like I stopped because I had issues. I was using 240 user-created mods that I downloaded for free without issues or conflictions between any of them. Yeah, some mods are released broken. That's just a fact of life. A lot of those mods are quickly fixed or maybe even taken down to be worked on, like the case of the classic combat armor. But even further, a lot of mods actually go through internal testing of their own between different mod authors. I don't think Bethesda is wrong here, it's just they're using facts that aren't necessarily relevant anymore. You mentioned the Creation Club content would not be based upon existing mod content. What's up with the Creation Club items like the Hellfire power armor? I don't think this was really a big concern to many people, but here they do say that they're going to exist in 2 independent spaces. The Hellfire power armor and the Chinese stealth suit have a free and a paid version. Those 2 are going to coexist, and they also do say they hope to open up a dialogue with mod authors when this does occur. Noctium and Dogtooth did reach out to Bethesda when they noticed that these 2 mods would be in Creation Club, and Bethesda said, hey, it's totally fine if you leave your 2 mods up. But they also do mention how it's totally okay for mod authors to add kind of additions or further modifications to Creation Club content. A few days ago I covered some texture overhauls done by Oh Dear to the Creation Club Hellfire power armor, and basically they're acknowledging that that stuff's totally okay, as long as it uses the Creation Club as a master. So one of the big questions is, why would I even pay for this when there are similar free ones? They basically give off a little list of different reasons as to why the Creation Club content does have further functionality and really options. Not impacting your load order and enabling achievements are really cool, but I feel like this is really missing the point. People want content. They don't really care about all these different features that are enabled because you're using a special file format in a special system. We want mods that are justifiable for their price, things that I want to pay for. So although yes, maybe this is an adequate response for some people, for at least me, and I think I speak for a lot of the community when I say this, the big problem right now with Creation Club and the paid aspect of it is it's simply not worth the money. The features listed right here are not enough to justify the difference between the free Hellfire power armor and the paid one. The free one is simply better, even though the paid one does have some of this additional functionality. Until Bethesda fixes that, I don't really think they have a proper answer to this problem. They simply need to be putting out better content at lower prices with Creation Club. So this one's actually pretty cool. They do address how Creation Club assets were being downloaded for everyone. Basically, this was a restriction of the game for consoles. It's just the way it has to work for them, which is unfortunate, but I guess whatever, it is what it is. But going forward, for PC users, they're not actually going to have to download this content any further. So as more stuff does get released on Creation Club, if you're on PC, you won't have it downloaded onto your hard drive. Another big issue was the load order being resorted. They also address how this was a bug and it's going to be fixed with the latest update. So this one's actually pretty interesting. Does Creation Club content use allocated mod space provided for the game? Will the mod limits on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 be changed for Creation Club? So it says no, the Creation Club content doesn't use those pre-allocated limits, that being the 2 GB on Xbox One, but they also mention how they can't actually increase these because it'll have other impacts of the game. So right now there is a partition dedicated to mod content that you downloaded, not Creation Club content, just normal mod content, and changing that can actually break different saves. So that explains why maybe Skyrim had a larger file limit on release and why they can't change it up to that limit for Fallout 4. This is pretty unfortunate. I mean, I don't really know the technical or background behind this. I imagine if Bethesda could do it, they would. It seems like this is a genuine restriction, maybe an oversight on their part. One of the massive concerns of Creation Club was the limitations of the Esl format. Everything currently in that program is using this format, and it was suspected that this was to get over like the load order limitations, but at the same time it had a lot of restrictions. You could only have so much content with with that format. It didn't have the seemingly unlimited capacity that normal ESLs or ESMs did have. Bethesda actually responds to this here. They say that they're not going to be required to use that format. If a mod comes along in Creation Club that is too big for it, it may be released in an ESM. This was a major concern for the community. A lot of people were kind of more level-headed and said, oh, maybe they will just release it as an ESM. But this is finally them confirming it. So all the concerns about no quest mods or large weapon packs appearing in Creation Club seem to be largely moot. Fortunately, we will be able to have those. Whether or not they will actually appear in the program is a totally different discussion, but the technical aspects of it do definitely support them, which is really good to see. I think that's something that a lot of people really turned off about. Large quest mods or DLC styled content is what people mostly would pay for, something that isn't only worth a few bucks, but maybe $10, $15, $20, but at the same time really worth that amount of money. It's unclear as of right now if any of that's coming. I actually don't think any of that's coming with the current mod author lineup, but again, maybe I have no idea. It's just based off the people I've talked to. They don't really seem to have heard of anything like that. And then finally, kind of addressing on a point I keep bringing up, we wouldn't mind paying if the content was better. What can we expect and when? They give a pretty vague response, but basically they say this is just the start for both games, and right now they're constrained internally with finalizing the content, but hopefully new stuff will be coming out each and every month. So that's pretty interesting. It seems like monthly updates could be a thing for Creation Club. It gives you an idea of what kind of timescale Bethesda hopes to achieve with this. If they're only going to release updates every month, you can definitely picture this being a long-term solution for Fallout 4, which is kind of concerning because it might mean that a future Fallout title could be very far away, and Bethesda's hoping for this to really be an additional source of revenue from the franchise. Those are largely my thoughts and opinions on this. I think this was a really good and sound response from Bethesda. The program still is what it is, that being not really that good. A lot of the content in it is overpriced and really doesn't deliver on features, but at the same time, I'm really happy to see them actually opening up a dialogue and talking about some of the problems and criticisms they have received. As always, I thank you guys for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Later.